It's hard to pick one because physically it's so important to feel in the era specific as we had traveled through for our journey, or at least specifically my journey. But I do think that the set design was really Mark, our production designer. Or art director, production designer. Sorry, I don't want to get that wrong. He just made such quick and incredible transformations that I just don't think a crew has had to do. It was really challenging, and I just loved how the home continued to relate to itself, but continued to transform throughout the decades. And I think that was something that I loved so much. And it's hard to talk about all this without talking about Jess Hall, our amazing DP, who used vintage lenses, made lenses, used old lighting. Like he was incredible. And that's why the show, I think, looks as special as it does.
Mm-hmm. So Elizabeth, you've played Wanda before the series across 5 films. What did you learn about her here? What that you didn't already know? I mean, the arc of the show is based on it was mapped out. The arc of the show maps out the stages of grief. Mm-hmm. And then there's also this notion that everything that is behind white picket fences isn't perfect. Mm-hmm.
Yes. The thing that I learned most from her with this specific story that we were telling is if she for the first time has this sense of agency and making her own decisions that she hasn't really had. She was kind of moved around a bit based on circumstances. And this is something that even if she was aware of it or not, she completely controlled on her own, even to a fault. And by the end of it has great accountability. And that I think was the newest journey for her and her processing of her experiences. I'll go. To my head.
Like you had to do the most.
Yes. I think I enjoyed having the practical aesthetics there because it was fun to interact with them. I think the one that was really challenging was the quick changes. There's a whole sequence of me changing coats and having to overlap crazy expressions and freeze and then have someone in green put a different coat on me and then resume the position. It felt so archaic, and I think it added, Teyonah was with me for that.
I was watching the whole thing.
It added to the whole chaos of that scene Teyonah just, doing such a brilliant job, like just telling the longest story. And I really do think that scene was one of my favorite things to watch because it was such a wild ride shooting.
Literally someone would hop out of the closet dressed, with different coats. And Lizzie's like, it was amazing.
Oh, that's incredible. I had no idea that was actually practically happening.
Yeah.
I love it. That's so awesome.
Just going to be this person and say Game of Thrones.